What's cracking? This your favorite day of the week.
That's right.
And that's because we got the hottest set of twins, Queen Reese and Sway Swiss, always giving you that motivation and that inspiration. So congratulations.
On tapping in with the twins.
Hey.
It's time to tap in.
Yeah.
It's time to tap in.
Yeah.
It's time to tap in.
Tap in with the right now.
It's time to tap in.
Y'all know what
It's
time
to
it
tap
is.
in. It's time to tap in.
Tap in with the
Tap
twin
in with
right
the
now.
twins.
Hey, tap in with the
Tap
twin
in with
right
the
now.
twins.
Hey, you ain't gonna freestyle though, huh?
I mean,
You say every episode you gonna freestyle.
I gotta
and
do
she
it
don't
unexpectedly. I can't do it on your time.
Okay. You got surprises one day and just
Okay,
come
I
through.
am.
'Cause
Nah,
they don't know who you are for real lyrically.
No, they really don't.
No, seriously. You gotta drop something.
Nah,
the
for
pressure's
real.
on now.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome
Right.
to episode 11, y'all.
Yes, yes.
Listen, shout out to all of our new subscribers. We had a dope past 2 weeks.
Yes.
Make sure if you haven't already, y'all do subscribe. And when we post on Instagram, for those of you who follow us, make sure to leave a comment, share, post, all of that. We appreciate all the support.
Yes, yes. Like she said, 11 episodes in, y'all,
Yes,
and we
sir.
drop a lot of information on these episodes, so
We do.
remember, if you just riding to work, if it's on your lunch break, if it's while you working out, just tap in, listen to what we got. We try to make sure every episode we provide some type of lesson or motivation or something out of it. So saying that to say you can't do nothing but benefit from tapping in with the twins.
Exactly.
So make sure y'all tap in.
Yes,
to
sir.
all of
Yes,
our
sir.
episodes if you've missed any.
What's up, twin? You look nice. I love that
Well,
bob. bro.
thank you.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling
We
okay.
really matching
We
though.
is.
I like this.
Baby A, baby B. How you feeling?
I'm pretty cool. Had a busy day. I feel like I say that every day.
I mean, you a busy
feel like I say
woman.
that every day. But
You are a
talk to
busy
bro,
woman.
our
Okay.
brother.
Yeah.
We do have a brother, right? And
Yes.
a lot of people that know us, they ask where he's at and what's going on with him, right? So we figured today, you know what, I was like, shoot, when I was riding here, we might as well just kind of, we don't have to give too many details, but just
Let's kind of talk about
let
it.
people know, right? I don't think
Right.
it's wrong
It's
that
real
people want to know, where he's at. I know when people let me stop because I'm about to tell where he's at. But I'm going to let you go ahead and explain this situation with our brother. His name is Cleveland.
Yes.
So we
Shout
have
out to
two
our
younger
brother
twin
CJ.
sisters. I don't know, we mentioned that on the first episode. We have two younger identical twin sisters that are about to be 21. And in between us, we have a brother that's, how old is CJ? 20... Oh, he probably, 20.
Yeah,
I'm about to
I
say,
think.
he's almost 30. 29, 30, right? He's in between us. He's a single child. And he moved to Atlanta with us and everything, but he's been kind of MIA for a while. So
Yeah, yes. So, like you said, shout out to CJ. We
CJ.
definitely love and miss him. He is alive, let's be clear.
right.
Right. But I think it's a good topic to discuss, as far as where he's at, why he's there, and how to maybe prevent other people from going there. So, just to get straight to the chase, our brother, unfortunately, is incarcerated. And he's been incarcerated for a little bit of time now. I think maybe about a good couple years. And it's just been a big deal for us. It's been a lot. He will be unfortunately incarcerated for longer than we'd like. God willing, he'll be home sooner than later. But he will be gone for a while. So it definitely has just taken a toll. Just our family, just us, and no one wants to see their loved ones gone, and especially due to COVID, we haven't even been able to actually visit and even physically see him. So it's just been securest cause and things of that nature, but not even being able to touch him or anything like that has been tough as well. So we just kind of want to talk to y'all about just, people getting incarcerated, why they get incarcerated, the expectations that they have from people.
The effects it has on everyone
Yes.
around them. You know what I
And
mean?
so-
It doesn't just affect them.
Exactly. And just to what degree do you need to, be loyal to someone before you risk yourself being incarcerated? So just want to kind of open the floor to kind of talk about those things. So I know one of the first things with me that I think is just super unfortunate. Well,
You know what? I just want to say,
back.
I want to say this real quick about CJ, our brother
Yeah.
specifically, not to get into detail,
Yeah.
but he really wasn't a bad guy. You know what I mean? He made a couple of bad decisions, and this one decision was just a really, 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 really bad one, and it left some serious consequences. But it just goes to show sometimes all it takes is that one time, that one mistake for you to just really damn near throw your life away.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And so it's really sad to see that because it's not like he was in the streets or a drug dealer or nothing like that. You know what I mean? So to see him, it's not like he killed anybody, attempted to kill anybody, nothing like that. So to see him just go down for so long, especially young black men, they really, they're hard on us when it comes to the court system. So It's just best to just try to avoid those situations. Sometimes you get real unlucky, and I feel like that was the case with my brother.
Right.
And maybe he didn't even handle it right. I know a lot of times it's about having a lot of money to get a good attorney. But I just want to say that he wasn't even a bad guy. He made a couple of bad decisions because he did go to jail a couple of times before that. He did. And
I think he was just, going through his phase of just trying to discover himself and I guess the type of things he wanted to associate with and the type of people, which ultimately just kind of led to some bullshit because as any of you know, us, obviously, we not into all that bullshit. But, saying it to say that my brother didn't have to be, it's just for whatever reason he chose to, and no judgment on him. We all do dumb shit and try shit. Some of us, it takes a little longer for us to get it than others. So who knows, what he was going through. But like she said, he's definitely a good person. Everybody knows CJ actually for his smile and just his
nickname used to be Smiley.
Like, exactly. His good energy. But, I think he just got influenced being around the wrong crowd, which just led him to think that he needed to do things he didn't have to do. And or for quick gratification, because sometimes we all just want that quick instant gratification, and
that drug money, that quick money,
right? And we will do super risky things because sometimes some people do get away with it. The truth is, a lot of people commit a lot of crimes. It's just really a matter of who get caught and who don't.
For real.
We all at some point, I'm sure, have done some illegal shit. Again, it maybe not to those degrees, but at the end of the day, we're all taking risks when we do that shit, and it's just a matter of if you're getting caught or not. So I just want to reiterate that again. Unfortunately, he did end up hanging around the wrong crowd that kind of asked him to do some bullshit, and he was just kind of peer pressured into being a mule, for lack of a better word, and
not learning from his past mistakes too, because for him to go to jail twice, we kind of felt like, damn, you already experienced it twice, and of course, when they get locked up, they make all the promises inside the jail, like, exactly. I promise when I get out, I'm Muslim. When I get out, I'm gonna do this and do that, and you believe them, you want to have hope in them and have faith in them, but they get out and they go back to the same crowd. You know what I mean? And I know that that's a struggle to just try something different, because when you in jail, you still really in the hood for the most part. You know what I mean? Like, so you know what I mean? You get out, you still kind of gravitate towards those type of people. Yeah. So it is difficult, but he did have a support system, because every time he got out, we were right there, willing and ready to help him. Some people some people just like to learn the very, very hard way. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean we love him any less. Of course, we would appreciate if he didn't take us through it, because as we're about to discuss, the effects it has on just family and people that actually really love you and care for you. Right. It's bigger than just you being in jail and telling people not to care, or putting the pressure on people to feel like they're obligated to send you a certain amount of money, or, take calls. Right. Just all of that. Exactly. But just want to be, clear that some people have to really wake up and learn from their lessons. Exactly. Like, you're not going to keep getting a slap on the wrist. Like, exactly. Especially if you keep making the same mistake. So.
And it actually blows my mind. On one hand, I like to look at it like sometimes I know it can be like a chain reaction as far as when you get locked up and then you get out and you're trying to do right and do better, but then you're facing felonies and things like that make it harder. I do feel like some men use that as an excuse because they get out and expect shit to just still be sweet and handed to them, as if we all don't have to work hard for what we get, whether we committed a crime or not. Finding a job and finding a decent job requires work and effort. So I think they just so used to that quick money and that quick shit that sometimes they don't want to take the time to really do it the right way, because sometimes it can take longer that way. But I just wish that people, especially my brother, I just wish that he would have kind of just caught on sooner, like she said, going back, just kind of it was frustrating to us, especially because we were doing everything to help him. And to be clear, again, this is no blow to our brother or nothing. This is just real shit. He knows we love him. It's just is the truth. And we just want to share it because he's learning and we're learning. Right. And, I just wish that he would have just caught on sooner and understood like that none of that shit is worth it, And I know sometimes it sounds good, go do this. You're going to make a quick little 20,000 or whatever. Who don't want to make a quick nice little few racks in a short amount of time, But and because some people do get away with it, and especially if you're trying to, it's just a bunch of shit. But I just wish that people would understand it requires patience, and that nothing good ever comes from you going back to that shit. You end up going back to jail, just building up your record, making it harder for the next time you go back, and it just becomes a chain reaction. And we don't know by. I don't know. Like I said, there's different reasons why I feel like people can't pull out of that, but I just wish that they would have the strength to really pull out of that, because it's like once you're in the system, you really are in that bitch, and it's just not easy to get out of it.
That's why it's important, like when they're in there, to really just read books and shit. You know what I mean? Like, try to use that time as like a time to just regroup and refocus. You know what I mean? I know that's easier said than done because you're around a bunch of niggas that probably just don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? But you got to find a way to just isolate yourself. You know what I mean? And
exactly. Feed your brain with
Feed your brain, exactly. Prepare for you to get out. You know what I mean? Like, you can come out and be a beast. You've seen people come out and they've made history and they've done great things, you know, started businesses, wrote books that were very successful. So you can write books in jail, in prison. You know what I mean? I've told my brother if he wrote a book, I would help him, you know, publish it. But it's things you can do. You just got to be tough enough and you got to want it enough and just want to work hard for it. Like, I think a lot of people are really scared to work hard. Like, like I said all the time, like, people scared to work hard. You know what I mean? They don't want to be tired. A nigga scared to be like, damn, you're not going to die. What's the worst? You going to step to the side, take a break, and that's it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got to, you should, you just have to work hard, and it pays off. So, and patience. That's another thing. Like you said, instant gratification. But, man, you got to just have patience, work hard consistently, and then you will start to see results. You know what I mean? But...
And like you said, just the effect that it has, you know, I think it's just really unfair when somebody continues to go back. You know, I understand we all can possibly get caught up in some shit and might need a little support, a time, maybe two. But to keep going back and then to keep having the expectation that people are supposed to spend their hard-earned money to fund your shit, you know, whether it's phone call, commissary, whatever it is, you know, I think it's just so unfair when people get to that point, and especially when they put pressure on to make you feel obligated, and then if you don't, they feel like you're not shit or you did something wrong.
Or you don't love them.
Or you don't love them. You know, it's just like, understand that everybody out here working hard for their shit. Everybody working hard for their money. Nobody wants to just hand over their money to a damn jail. You know, whether it's for your mom, dad, brother, uncle, nobody wants to do that. But let alone doing it for somebody that is continuously doing the same shit where you just noticing it's becoming a habit. That's just like you being out and me taking care of your ass at that point. And it's just unfair because why don't you think about all that shit before you do what you do to lead you in there, you know? And, you know, if you got the support, more power to you. But in no way, shape, or form should you expect anybody to have to do any of that shit. And if not, should you be mad about it?
But see, I think that's the difference right there is that if it's somebody who repeatedly does shit and it's like, okay, nigga, you could have really controlled that as opposed to somebody who went and they really just didn't deserve it or they were innocent or something like that.
Right.
You wouldn't mind riding for them.
Just like the time, maybe two.
Right. Just like if y'all were out, you know, if you have a partner that's locked up, you know what I mean? Like, what's the line between, like, you just really sacrificing and being there for them and being super loyal and you not? You know what I mean? Especially depending on how long they have to go away. And I think that depends on, first of all, the crime and what they did, if they were really guilty of it. You know, if it was, like, their first chance or something like that. If it's a nigga that just stay in the system, you kind of be irritated. But if somebody you really love, you will kind of just go a little hard for them and you won't feel bad about it. I guess that's the point.
Without a doubt, would I hold mine down if you got caught up in some shit. Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely.
But like you said, some people that continuously go back and then they have these expectations of the family to just, when they say they need something, just to jump. You know what I mean? And because really, people in jail swear that everybody outside of jail is living great. It's just like they just feel like, look, you not in here, so I know you got some money. I know you doing good. Yeah. And I be telling my brother all the time, like, shit, bro, people be going, you know, people go through shit. Like, it ain't. I know we outside. Trust me, I get it. I'm free, but you know, I have bad days too. That's my point. Like, I have bad days too. You know what I mean? So, of course, not comparing to yours, but just being a little understanding and not getting an attitude or be upset. You know, I think it takes both sides to be super understanding. Yes. You know what I mean? The person in jail and the person not in jail, just understanding that they are in jail, they are looking at the same four walls that does fuck with you mentally.
Right, for sure.
And they just want to feel like somebody cares about them and somebody loves them. You know what I mean? So
hence the money that they want for the phone calls and all that.
Exactly.
So I totally get it, you know?
And then the people in jail just being understanding too, like I said, that people have lives. People have more responsibility than you. You know what I mean? People have bad days outside of jail. People have financial issues outside of jail. People may not be available when you call, you know what I mean, and not taking that personal. So it definitely just takes like both parties to be understanding. And
I agree with that because I know it's definitely sometimes bro will call where I feel like I'm just busy or overwhelmed, and maybe if somebody else called, I may not have answered, but I will answer for him just because, like you said, I know that that's all that they and because you know that's all they really can get is a phone call. That's their only form of any type of, you know, just love or affection or whatever is really through a phone call. So, again, I totally get it. I'm not knocking nobody. I done been to jail. You know what I'm saying? I'm not knocking. I done got right out. Jail? I got right out.
When?
That day I got pulled over for driving.
Zoom in on this, get this mugshot right here. What the fuck? Turn to your right all the way. God damn it. Now, when you been to jail? No, I like this little podcast. I be finding out all kind of stuff about my sister.
I got out the same day. Remember that one day back in Michigan where I got in Lansing where I got pulled over? It was all a mistake.
No traffic violation.
Remember
man,
you
don't nobody talk about no traffic violation.
Man, I violated the fuck out that traffic.
You ain't gonna bust nothing. Get out of here. You don't even tell people that.
No,
especially not in Atlanta.
3 times. No,
Somebody
but
locked up.
I just want to be clear that
light.
I'm all, I've helped plenty of people, so I'm not knocking, I've helped people that I even regret helping because I felt used in the end. All I'm just saying is for the people that I feel like continue to do it and then just expect it's just really inconsiderate for me to just keep going to jail and to keep expecting my sister. And I'm just using us as an example. This ain't even in reference to my brother. I'm just generally speaking. And then keep expecting her to just keep giving me her money. Then I get out, then I go do some dumb shit. Oh, Trees, can you keep? Then I get out, then I do some. Oh, Trees, can you? That's just inconsiderate of me. Like, so I just wish, just overall, people wouldn't do the shit so nobody would have to be hurt because, like you said, it does impact a lot of people. But let's talk about the relationships. Like, I know you mentioned, like, being there for your partner and stuff and just, I guess when to be a ride or die and how long to hold them down and stuff like that. And I think that's
cheat?
Right.
You save your little twitty twat so you get out?
Not the twitty twat. First of all,
because he ain't gonna save it if you ain't. I just want to say that he ain't.
No, for real.
Know. I think
they kill me turning into the world's greatest men when they get locked up. Like literally. Like I done had dudes sell me dreams. Man, look, sold me every dream you could think of over that damn phone, and fooled me. And got out and did totally different, and that's what makes it tough as far as when do you hold somebody down. Now, I feel like if it's somebody I'm really with, and definitely if I'm married and everything is solid, I'm definitely gonna hold my husband down through whatever, and that's a fact. But I think women just need to sometimes think about when that's a good idea because again, I know I've done it before. I know women who've done it for even longer and have given their life savings and put their men before their kids and all that trying to hold down the men in jail, and especially because they just selling you all that bullshit. So it kind of that doesn't help, because all they can do is talk to you. So they're going to talk to you to the, the maximum. But it's just that at what point do you hold that person down, I guess, for lack of a better word, or how long do you support them? And, do you really sit and be faithful, And I would have to just say my answer would be it would depend definitely on how long. If somebody doing like 10 years or something like that, I'm sorry, that would just be inconsiderate for him to think that I'm just going to sit here and pause my life for 10 years.
So you wouldn't?
I wouldn't. For 10 years?
You going to tell him?
I'm going to tell him. And that doesn't even mean I won't talk to him. Now, again, if this my husband or something, I'm just talking about somebody I'm dating, unless we just really got a long history. You know what I'm saying? If it's really some history and something there that's really solid that I really need to hold on to, then I will definitely consider it. But if it's somebody I'm just kind of just dating and nothing really too locked in, or I haven't been dating that long, I don't feel like I owe him 10 years of me walking around here not doing nothing and just pausing my life for 10 years. Lord knows the men being there cheating too, 50 different hoes sending letters and shit. And again, because that's all they can get, so I guess I can't knock them. But I quite frankly, unless it's somebody I'm really, truly, truly with and have something to hold on to, I cannot just pause my life for that long. I've done it before. Maybe that's why I've done it not for that long, but I've done it for a year, maybe even 2, and it just was never worth it. The men get out and they just want to be free and do all this bullshit. Very rare does a man want to get out and actually be with one woman and do the right thing and stuff like that. Very rare. It's possible. But often women, adjust their whole life for that shit for a man to get out and let them down. I've saw a man get out with a woman holding him down for years, giving him her last dollar, putting him before her kids, going to drive to visit him regularly, gas money, staying in hotels, doing it for years, doing anything he wanted, taking care of his kids, all of that, and this man got out and went to be with somebody else. And I've heard of that happening often. And you just never know. It just sucks because you don't know. When somebody's locked up, they're going to be the world's greatest person. So you don't know if it's real or not. So
let me give you a scenario, right?
Okay.
You've been married for 5-7 years, right? Mm-hmm. We're gonna say 7.
7.
You've been married for 7 years, okay? Mm-hmm. Your husband goes away he got a 10-year sentence. Mm-hmm. Your husband, you got your ring on. If you see a little light-skinned or a little chocolate man coming out of LA Fitness and it's 95 degrees out and he got a little sweat dripping down between his, he got sweat on his triceps, biceps, abs poking out, and he like, hey, man, how you doing? You all right? And you like, dang, you've been talking to your husband, but you can't touch him. Dang. And he go out
and he just there, and y'all at the crib kicking it, and he done cooked you dinner. I'm trying to really set the stage. I don't know.
Who let
That's
him
between
in?
y'all. He got there somehow. You know how he got there. He there.
Oh shit!
And you get that little tingly feeling.
Ooh, not the tingle.
And what you gonna do? Be honest, cause you ain't about to get
First
enough
of
for
all,
10 years anyway.
I know. Let me just be all the way raw, uncut, and honest.
Raw and
I think that I truly believe that the first few years I'd be fine. I've been faithful. I've been loyal. I went without sex. You know, I'm not promiscuous like that. Like I'm a one man woman. So saying that to say it's not easy for me to be loyal. So I feel like, you know, the first few years I may be okay, but eventually, like she said, that tingly feeling gonna start turning into stress and shit. And
then what?
My face gonna start breaking out and shit, you know. And then, you know, I may even run it by him like, is it okay?
What? You gonna please do this?
I'm so real.
Honey, how you doing? How you doing today, honey?
Hey,
I miss
baby.
you. I miss you. How you doing today?
First of all, I'm gonna be
How the
working my
kids?
way up to it, so it wouldn't be no one
How the
conversation.
kids?
I'm gonna be like, damn,
How
babe,
the
I'm horny.
kids?
Damn, babe, this shit getting hard.
It's gonna be, you gotta do it on the day where y'all into it already. Like, what shit, you know when you break up for like a day or two?
Oh yeah.
And you gotta do it in between that time
Let
span.
him try to break. Yeah.
Justify it a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, you
Now
know we
that-
went
now
together.
that-
You said
now
you didn't want to
that-
be with me.
You're onto something there.
Just a little tip. You know what I mean? Just a little
No.
tip.
But I'm very loyal, you know, and it's, you know, although, you know, everybody wants sex, you know, like I said, I think in the beginning it wouldn't be so hard, but eventually I know it definitely would be tempting and it would be hard. And I can't sit here and lie and say that for 10 years straight that I could do that. I really believe I possibly could, but it definitely would be hard and challenging. But if I did for any reason lay down with somebody other than my husband, I would honestly just make sure that it's literally just that. And that may sound cold.
What is literally just that?
Keeping the G.
What is literally just that?
Just fucking, you know what I'm talking about.
Like so that mean like just the same
Just a
person
sec-
multiple times?
Yeah,
Just
if I
one
can't
penis.
if I can't keep it one person and keep it just a sexual,
But not one time.
Right.
No, I'm just trying to be clear if you're saying like one time or if you know how y'all be like, well, it was the same man, so
No,
y'all feel
I'm
a little more.
definitely. Most of the time I'm with one person for that whole year, so that ain't shit.
So you just have
I'm
one
like,
loyal
I ain't
side
promiscuous.
nigga.
Yeah, just one. Definitely. I ain't never had multiple. I
I
can't
ain't
even
mad
do
at
that.
that.
I'm too prideful and too, you know, to be throwing my shit out there like that.
I ain't mad at that.
So if I did, it would be one person. I would definitely make sure it's clear that nothing is coming from this. And even as my husband's release date approaches,
Yo, y'all be playing with people's heads.
I would cut that
Nothing
shit
coming
off.
from these. We just fucking. As soon as my man get out, you
You
gotta
know,
go and take
and
your feelings.
I know. I
Period.
don't really know
And
what the
take your-
answer. I didn't know I was
No,
gonna be
no.
asked
I'm
this.
messing
I
with
would have
you.
rehearsed, but I'm just being honest because I really try to be honest. That I feel like I would just be flat out lying if I say yeah, I can go 10 years.
Nah,
but
I
even though there's a
totally
part of me that
feel
feels
you.
like I could because I've never cheated and I don't care what nobody's. I've literally never cheated on no man I've been with. It's easy for me to be faithful. Once I find one, that's all I want. I need him to do everything I want him to do, and that's all I need. I don't need no multiple dicks and shit. So, you know, at this point, it wouldn't be multiple because that one would be incarcerated. Free.
Okay, I got you. Right, not simultaneously. So you kind of just little ping pong.
Yeah,
ping pong action.
But you know,
No, I get that.
hopefully
Then
I don't
you
have to
just
go through that.
Yeah, you
know?
won't.
I
Exactly.
did it
We just
before,
speaking-
right? I know.
Yeah.
But you never know. You know what I'm saying? Like I could.
Cause you do
Especially
like
with
the
the shit I be
thugs.
dealing
You
with,
do
I
like the
might
thugs.
bust a nigga and be locked up. And
You
then
do
I
like a
need him-
nigga with some 28s with some tinted windows.
I used to. That was 2020.
Bending corners.
That was 2020.
That used to be you. They used to say I was a
I
tomboy
know.
twin. Was the first one had rims, tinted windows,
Yeah.
a sound system.
Gangsta
She was
do
really
it
the
all
tomboy
day.
for real. Though. But no, I appreciate you being honest though, because that is you know, I was gonna throw that. Well, you see, I threw that question at you, but I knew
Right.
you was gonna kind of
Shit.
not know how to take it. But
that
no, I think that was an honest answer, and I think that's most people's answer. You know, but there are some
But
people
that's
that
why
will.
I've been, even though you never know, I'm sorry not to cut you
No,
off.
okay.
People be saying that, but totally meant to cut you off. What was I going to say? Damn. Shit, I forgot.
It's all good. It's all good.
I forgot.
Well,
I feel like it was something important. I don't know. Anyway,
it's all good. Well, you know, ladies, if you're ever in that situation and you really want to be loyal, just to give you some tips, you go to Tokyo Valentino. I think that's a toy store. And find some toys.
dropped
Make sure
the
y'all
toy
do
store.
like some. If y'all got time, y'all know he about to go in. Get some footage so that y'all can watch. It can help stimulate you while you use the toy, or just I don't know how the phone sex thing go. If y'all can do it over the phone, I don't really know, but I'm just saying little stuff like that. Mentally visualize them on you. You know what I mean? Use your toy. It's all a mind thing anyway. So
I
it really
just
is.
thought
Sex
about
is
it.
mental. You know what I mean? So
If we're
you
married, I
can
can go
fuck
in
that
there.
man even though he locked up.
I was finna say, but if I'm married, I think I can go in there and do that. Up in there. As much as I might not want to.
I've been hearing them stories.
Yeah, I think I forget what it's called, but when you married, they give a room, which sounds so gross,
really?
like Motel 6. But they give you a room that you can go. It's a word.
She know too much for
It's
me.
a word. Yeah, babe, they be fucking in
You
there.
know too much for me, baby.
But what I was gonna say was, because if that's my husband, I'm gonna love him to death to his part. So if we can make it work in there, like just like I would want him to do. But I was gonna say I'm at a place in life where I really try to screen people before. So when I see that men are living those type of lives that lead to that bullshit now, because again, I used to, like she said, I just ain't even fucking with it. I don't even want to go through it. Don't even let it be a possibility that you're doing something that could lead you there, because I don't want to go through that. I don't want to experience the pain of being hurt or you being gone, the pressure of having to hold you down and you being gone, and just fuck it. Like I've been there, done that. And again, maybe that's why I'm so over it, because I've been there, done it a few times, and not one time did it do me any good. Not one time. I just wasted money, time, energy, all that shit. So
yeah, we ain't doing that no more.
Yeah. So
we ain't doing that no more.
Background checks full effect.
Full effect. So, with that being said, right, people have a hard time understanding that, like, our sibling made a decision like that. Because, people feel like, well, you should be like your older siblings, or why you not, doing what your older siblings doing, being an entrepreneur, being a business owner, and what happened? What was different? And it's like, man, it doesn't matter. Like, as a parent, you can really try to do everything right. Mm-hmm. Like, and I mean, it's kids that parents are pastors and they did crimes. You know what I mean? They was at the church every other day. So it's like you can really try to lead your child to the right path, and you can do your best to show them right from wrong and give them examples. I think that's the best thing to do, is give examples. But at the end of the day, they are going to make their own decisions, right? And sometimes we have to just understand that and not take the blame for it. Of course, as a parent, I'm sure, you naturally just feel that guilt, or just like, that responsibility to fix it or make it better, or just some type of blame placed on yourself. But it's not, a lot of times it's not the parent's fault. A lot of times it is. Yeah. But in this case, like, sometimes it's just not. And, we weren't around any of that stuff. We didn't, you know what I mean? We didn't know anybody who was doing it like that. Like, it really was just a surprise. So, we could sit here and tell our brothers, our siblings all day, like, listen, come be an entrepreneur, or, do this or do that, or this is how you do it. We can try to teach them what we've learned, but it's up to them to receive it and to just understand it and learn from it, and really just take what we say. You know what I mean? Because we preach a lot to even our younger twin sisters. I wish that they would just get a little bit more ambition too. You know what I mean? Really was hoping that they would kind of team up with us, and we could kind of be like a 4-man team, which maybe eventually it'll still happen, because they're still young. Absolutely. But, just wishing, I guess I look at it like, damn, I wish when I was their age, I had somebody like myself, a big sister that was like, look, you want to open any business, I got you. You want to do this, I got you. Like, we didn't really have that type of leadership. You know what I mean? Like, our mother definitely.
Each other exactly. Try to push each other, but.
And our mother definitely, motivated us, and she did a good job by showing us by example. Yeah. But we didn't have that leadership, so, I be wanting to knock my little sisters upside the head, and my brother too, like, damn, what's wrong with y'all? Y'all got 2 sisters that's willing to really do whatever to help y'all excel too, you know what I mean? And they just don't take advantage of it. But, some people kind of purposely want to be different than their siblings, because they don't want to do what everybody says I should do like my older sibling. They kind of want to take their own path, and they want to take more risk, and they make, their own decisions. And that's just how it goes. You know what I mean? Every family got people that's just on different frequencies and all of that.
And that's where you just got to realize that you can't want something more than the next person, because, of course, we all could use a little uplifting and motivating, and even a little handheld holding sometimes, as far as, just being pulled a little bit. So I think it's never wrong to do that, but just knowing when to stop, I guess, when you're beating a dead horse or pulling a dead elephant, like, where it's just like, because like you said, as much as we would enjoy for our sisters to join us in our entrepreneurship and things like that, we can't make them. And if they desire not to be that, then it's fine. We can't make them do what we want them to do. But I do, or shall I say, I would just be curious to better understand that. Like, why is it that, sometimes people who are surrounded by, the right support and given the right resources, why they don't want to take that and run with it, especially if it means like success and, things could be better. And I know she mentioned that some people, I do think, just want to want to go against the grain and just don't want to. But I even wonder why, like, you know, like, especially if you got, and we just using us as an example as a sister thing, but of course, generally speaking, but even like with our sisters, you know, and everybody's brain is different. Everybody's desires are different. Everything is different. At least that's just definitely what I'm learning. You know, we can try our best and do everything we can to try to get them to see the light at the end of the tunnel, but it just really takes that person's time. I mean, you can lay something out in front of somebody, give them the fucking full blueprint. We done help people with places to stay, cars, job, everything that you could think of that you would need to succeed. We've helped and, you know, offered, and still no luck. So, you know, sometimes it just is what it is. And I guess the hard part becomes knowing when to fall back, and especially being a parent, because it can be hard. I know I'd be having some sleepless nights if I felt like my son wasn't at least just maintaining. Like, he doesn't have to be rich and successful, but I want him to be able to take care of himself and handle his responsibilities and be independent. And but at the end of the day, I only have so much control over that. I'm doing my best now to lead him in that direction, but I can't guarantee that that's what he'll forever do. Of course, that's what I would hope, but you know, knowing when to, as parents, not to throw your life away trying to save your kids. And that may sound harsh, so let me just elaborate. Definitely be there for your kids, and especially through as they become adults, but just knowing when, at what point do you say, hey, okay, it is what it is. Let me stop just worrying so much about my children. It is what it is, and let me just focus on my life. And I say that because I've seen parents where I feel like they just have focused and devoted their whole life to trying to help their children to the point where they didn't have a life for years, you know, and they ended up just being lonely by themselves. And it sucks because I get it. You want to do everything you can to help your child be the best they can be. But again, at what point do you realize that you're trying to make somebody be something they don't want to be? It's easy and simple as it may seem to you. They don't want that right now. If they don't have whatever they need right now to do that, at what point do you accept it for what it is? So it's definitely tough.
That's a good point, because I think at some point in time you do have to accept it for what it is, and it doesn't mean completely like fall back.
Right.
But I think it means just adjust the way you handle your relationship. You know what I mean? Maybe not being so specific, like, well, you should do this, you should do that. Just supporting whatever they say. Just being there, just being a listener.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, okay.
Exactly.
Whatever you want to do. But as you was talking, I was sitting here thinking about some kids that probably have grown up and their parents are like, I want you to be just like Michael. Yeah. You know, like your older brother. Be just like Michael. I want you to work at the bank just like Michael. Why don't you be like Michael? Or they get in trouble. I wish you were like Michael. And, you know, they just put that
like
pressure
me,
on
even.
you.
They'll be saying. Like talking about the parents. Sometimes they'll be saying, I want you to do
comparing to themselves, right? And then they just feel the pressure, like you just build up this like, fuck Michael. I'm tired of y'all talking about something like that.
Nothing to do with nothing he doing.
I'm about to do something completely opposite.
Yeah,
matter of fact, you know what I mean. So I think sometimes it does come from the family, putting the pressure on them. And, you know, them just feeling like I don't want to be, you know, a duplicate of somebody. Like, I don't want to be their clone. I want to be my own self, really want their individuality. You know what I mean? I think that's what it is. Well, sometimes. But also, like I said, like we talked about before, people just really being scared to try stuff and thinking, well, yeah, they're doing it and being successful, but maybe if I do it, I won't be successful. You know what I mean? Like, and just not understanding that, you know, like in our case, we're really here to support and help. We're not we're not just giving our sisters advice and saying just go out there and try it. We're actually saying like, hey, we'll do it with you.
Right.
So you can learn and, you know, you have that security blanket that a lot of people don't have. You know what I mean? Some people are really out here in this world alone. And I use my fiance as an example all the time because she's lost both of her sets of parents. I think she has a sister in Trinidad and a sister in Philly, but for the most part, she really is just by herself. She does not have any family, and I love that she's still able to just smile and maneuver through life and still be independent and, you know, just still find a way to just be happy. You know what I mean? I know sometimes kids, like girls in particular, have daddy problems where their dad is not there, and they let it just fuck with them their whole life. They just use that as an excuse for so much, you know what I mean? And sometimes you just got to let that go.
Yeah.
Like we talked about before, but just basically reiterating that, you know, sometimes as parents, you can do the right thing. As long as you know that you really showed your child right from wrong and you gave them examples and you were on top of them, you should feel a little, you know, not okay, but not so bad about if they choose to make other decisions. Sometimes people just really have to learn the hard way. You feel me? So we used to talk about that all the time. It was somebody, I won't say no names, but somebody whose mom was really into the church and they went to church like every other day.
Oh yeah.
And her mom used to always brag like she was. The worst. Them the little fast ass kids. It's always a pastor daughter that's getting the train ran on her or something. Like you hear in the streets like, damn, ain't that's pastor such and such. Like, goddamn, like they was I always heard a church person's kid doing something sexual, like
man.
Crazy. But
Kids.
the point of that is that, hey, like I said, your kid can sit in church all day and praise all day and go out and make a dumbass decision, you know what I mean? So just do the best that you can, though, because you do still have to do your part. You know what I mean? You still have to guide your children. You still have to educate them, because whether or not you educate them or not, they're going to learn it somewhere else. So you might as well make sure they learn it with you. You know what I mean? But sometimes it just ain't shit you can do.
Right.
Like,
and if you feel like it's something you could have did better as a parent, I would say to just not beat yourself up about that. You know, I know that you can learn from it. You know, it is what it is, own it, you know, but just learn from it and just see what you can do in the present time to try to help your child, you know, versus sitting in a deep, dark place beating yourself up about what you could have did differently for your child. Just see what you can do for the moment, you know, and just try to move forward. But the whole overall lesson is just, you know, you just never really know what life will throw at you, and just being just, you know, and how your kids will turn out and just what your life will really consist of. But just learning how to just, you know, not let certain things, not let what other people have going on to kind of take over your life, depending on who they are. I mean, I know your kids and things like that, but just knowing when to have that balance, because we all only get one life to live, and I think it's unfair to live your life for somebody else. So
right, it's like recognizing at what point you're sacrificing your happiness for somebody.
Exactly.
Like your happiness is never sacrificed. Period. You feel me? You know, for your kids, you've been a few corners or whatever, but when they're younger, you know what I mean. But at some point in time, it's like, look, I'm not making these decisions. I'm not about to keep going through this with you and dealing with the consequences with you when I'm sitting here trying to make the right decision. Doing the right thing is hard sometimes, you know what I mean? And I'm doing it, and you doing the easy shit, and you know what I mean? So just, yeah. But I want to say to the people that had asked about our brother, I know sometimes when they ask, we kind of, I don't know, we kind of just don't answer. It just depends on how I'm feeling. Sometimes I just kind of act like I ain't see it. Like,
I think the main thing is, too, is sometimes, I don't know, depending on who asking, and then, I don't know, sometimes
some people just nosy, some people care.
Then you respond, and they want to hit you with 50 other questions and shit, too. Like,
right.
I don't feel like it's
but we don't mind that y'all asked. But me and Twin was having a conversation, right? We were talking about how people feel when you ask, like, what happened to somebody. Like, specifically, like, when they pass, too. You know, this is not our situation, but, like, say when somebody passed, and you would just see somebody make a post, like, pray for such and such. You know, just something like that where, you know, they, like, about to die, close to death. And you be like, what happened? Don't worry about that. Just pray for the family.
Right. You get cussed out. So inconsiderate, da-da-da. Like, what the fuck?
Y'all worry about the wrong shit. Damn. Just say a prayer. Like, they be snapping. You hear me? You be like genuinely concerned. Like, what happened?
Right.
What the fuck? Just, like, they be snapping on you. And we was just talking about that, like, I don't know. Like, I guess it depends on who it's coming from, right? If you see somebody who you know you ain't talked to in a minute and you kind of wish you did and they ask you some shit, you be like, bitch, go on, don't be in my business now. But I feel like if it's somebody, like, specifically who has, like, a following or something, or they're, like, pretty open with their followers anyway, why can't we know what's wrong with them? Like, I'm sick about that because it's people that's, like, gone and I have no idea what happened. Like, more importantly, we can learn from it. Did a nigga OD on something? Let me know what something. Did he eat something? Like, let us know. Somebody can learn from it. If he OD'd on pills, people who take pills, okay, y'all look, niggas is dying from this shit. Take it serious. But why can't we know?
I know.
Can y'all please drop a comment?
I just think, and let us know your thoughts on that for sure.
Because I remember one time, shout out to, rest in peace to my homie Steven, but when he passed, right, his own blood brother had put on Facebook, rest in peace or something like that. So I put rest in peace. But they killed my ass right there on that damn post. I was like, shit, the brother put rest in peace, but they was like, well, he's still fighting. And I was like, well, my bad. I mean, I didn't, like, I would have never put it if it was a random person. It was his brother. So I'm like, he got the facts, you know what I mean? And I'm following his lead. He said it. I can at least comment on his shit. Boy, listen, I had to block the folks. And I know, you know, when people going through shit, they be, bitch, such and such, I kill your ass next. Like, you know, I know you going through it, baby. But I was just like, damn, that's fucked up. Like, I was just copying him. Like, I don't even usually say nothing. That's why I was like, that's why I don't even comment on shit. But I do want to know why people get so defensive when people ask. Like, and what's the time frame?
People think about it. Like, I think that's everybody's natural reaction, right? Like, and it's just different, I think, because social media. But if we in person, I'm like, yeah, girl, Junebug done died. What's the first thing you gonna say? Girl, how he died? That's the first thing I think everybody, girl, what happened? Or what? That's just a natural reaction. I just think, I guess maybe being on social media, it just comes off different maybe, but I'm with you. I get it, and I think sometimes it depends on what it is. If it's somebody passed away in my family due to overdose or something, I don't know that I would just be comfortable to be like, due to overdose on my Facebook post, maybe a message or something maybe. So maybe it just depends on how people are going about it and how it's being communicated. Some things I think they may not want to share on the post and maybe just message. I just know I personally wouldn't get mad if somebody asked me what happened. Just because that's just, to me, a natural reaction. I'm not going to feel like they're being inconsiderate or that is everybody's first thought is what happened, and
fast. Because to be honest, as I said or thought about it, right? If something happened to somebody I loved and they're like fighting for their life and somebody asks me what happened, I'm a little irritated because I'm just trying to pray that they pushing through.
Right.
But I don't feel like I would actually get the energy to just be like, first of all, I'm not even about to be on goddamn Facebook like that.
Hello.
Okay, you feel me? Like, to just be monitoring comments and shit and responding to people. Because I remember when the girl snapped on me, I was like, damn, you got all this time to be arguing with me. If he fighting, like, girl, you need to sit there and get off of
social media. But yeah, I forgot what the hell I was saying.
No, you was just saying that just
you shouldn't be on social media.
Basically,
but everybody put everything on social media,
yeah.
So it's kind of expected. But I'm just saying, I wouldn't give the energy and just go in on nobody. I would see it and might be like, a little irritated, but
right.
I ain't about to just sit there and be going off on people. I'm gonna be a little understanding that people do want to know.
Right. If you putting it out there. It's one thing if somebody just randomly coming, you putting it out there, seeing such and such pass. You think people not gonna want to know? It's one thing if they just hitting you up randomly, like, girl, what happened to such and such? But they're replying to what the information you're sharing. And then that's just another topic as far as the whole Facebook post, because, I know it's a lot of discussions about when to post and people finding out from Facebook and things like that. And I think that is a catch-22, and it's tricky too, because I'd be sick if I found out somebody I know passed away on Facebook. But the reality of it is Facebook is like one of the number one.
Like the news.
Yeah, reporting places right now. That is where people run to. So it could have happened in a city. I would like to think that somebody that's my real family, the family would know before Facebook. But really all it takes is that one person to find out who's a Facebook head ass that put everything, all it takes is that one person in the family, and I ain't even got to say that they a Facebook head ass, but just somebody who chooses to whatever, my cousin could find out. She want to go to Facebook first before my auntie done call me and call grandma and what.
Because people really like to be the first one to post the bad news.
They do.
They want to be like, I knew first.
Yeah.
Yes, you found out on my page.
Yes.
Like, as
No,
weird
for
as
real,
that
they
is,
do.
people really like to.
They'll just hear a little such and such got an accent, such and such.
Russian just posted on there. You know what I mean? So
that's it is a true. I think before I would ever post that somebody passed, I would definitely, get it from a credible source, even though you did with the brother and it wasn't accurate. So that was just because I definitely
the
would have
person
trusted
dead,
the brother.
they gonna have to be dead themselves and say, yeah, I'm gone, Sway.
before I post anything else, you hear me? Like,
I'm gonna have to see the obituary.
like, okay. Now, prayers to the family.
Then they're going to be, you late? Why you bringing it
Right,
back up?
oh, now that fake hug.
shit.
They just be giving roses when they gone.
Y'all be tripping.
Because then they be like, well, not now. But then they be like, but when?
Right.
Like, what's, like, at 48 hours, do I ask what happened?
Some of y'all just need to stop and think before y'all react, because y'all be checking people about shit y'all be doing and don't even realize it. Because some people just are so quick are just so quick to just react, and just that I wish we all would just stop and think a little bit more before we react to shit and just try to be a little understanding. Like, okay, damn, that might have rubbed me wrong because I'm mad right now. It's just a bunch of bullshit going on. But she did just ask what happened, and shit, I did post something happens.
Right.
I probably would ask, let me just ignore it. Instead of getting worked up and being nasty about it, let me just ignore it. And I know that's easier said than done, especially when it's trauma like that. But
that's why, like I said, just watch where you direct your energy, really.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I wouldn't even be pressed about that shit at a time like that. I'm not pressed. But I will handle somebody later if they was inappropriate. But at that time, it's all about my loved one. You feel me? So, but that was an interesting topic. Like, because I hate when I don't know something.
Right.
Or I hate.
Because
like,
somebody
damn,
just
you
passed
like,
the other day. I had to,
like, was it
I had the
natural
message.
cause? Did a nigga in an accident? Did he get
Right.
shot? Where? Like.
But old boy that passed the other day, I don't even want to say no name because of what it was. But from back home, everybody was posting rest in peace, but nobody was saying like what happened. And I feel like typically when people don't really say what happened, it's usually like Like if somebody was really like murdered, I feel like people usually say they done killed such and such, or you know they took my. You kind of know if it's a murder. If it's like a suicide or OD or something, I feel like people are more hesitant to say. So I instantly started thinking, just based off the post I was seeing, like it must be something like that because nobody's seeing what happened. So I had to shoot me a little message to sis Sharika actually, asked her like, what happened to such and such, like. And because dang, I did want to know, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I was hurt. It definitely was like shocking to me, and I'm just like, damn, like I want to know. I want to know what would just take somebody off the earth like that. That was fun. You know, I did want to know. And she told me that she had heard, so I don't know that he had OD, and it just made sense to me why they hadn't really shared it. And like I said, I can understand, you know, like not really want to put that out there, especially if it's your people. And this particular person was a really, 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 really good dude. So I know it's probably hard for anybody to put that in the same sentence with him. Like, yeah, he. You know, so I get that. You know,
I get that too, definitely.
But
I totally do get, just to be clear, not answered and not giving people that answer right away.
Right.
Just to be clear, my main thing was how people snap and give that negative energy in the middle of this type of situation. You feel me? So
I feel you.
But yeah, I would try to avoid asking. You know what I mean? Or like you said, you know, unless you got like the inside scoop. If not, you just got to sit back and guess what? You got to just go through them comments.
Hello.
You got to do a little research. You got to click on who they tag. Go see who the cousin was. See what he wrote. And
because somebody gonna tell me. If it ain't June,
somebody else asked what happened on there.
No, for real.
And they either got chewed out or somebody answered them.
For real.
You just got to do your own little research.
Nah, for real.
But yeah,
hashtag, check the hashtag.
No, for real. I just thought that
check
was
the news.
Yes. Twin, you want to go on and throw in the quote of the week?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, quote of the week.
Okay, with the...
Because
the fuck? God, I
was thinking something at the same time because I was about to just recap. And since you called me out, let me just recap on what I was... I
did say it was mental. I did say sex was mental, so I don't know who you was visualizing.
You said 10 years. But, I just want to reiterate to, you know, my people out there that's just in the streets and doing a bunch of risky shit. So just, you know, I know it's easier said than done. And that's why I'm hoping to, in the near future, find something or some type of program to help, especially like we've mentioned before, how y'all hustlers who really in the streets, y'all mentality is so off the chain that if only you applied it legally, but just finding the strength to just do it. I know, again, it's easier said than done, especially if all your boys are still doing it and you be in the eyeball, but be that one that changes it up because you can sleep peacefully at night, because I know y'all not sleeping peacefully at night. So just try to think twice before y'all do what y'all do. Think of who it impacts, the children, the parents, the family. Think of just, is it worth it, you know, and just think of the chain reaction when you get out, and none of that shit is just worth it. So just think before you act. And what I was getting at is I hope in the near future to have some type of program to help those that are in the street transition into legal business in whatever way that is. Again, still trying to fine tune that, but because I understand some of y'all just don't know what to do with that money. Y'all sitting there with all that shit. You don't know what to do. We don't know how to transition out the streets. I get it. So hopefully we can be of some help with that soon. So I just wanted to throw that out there before I get out a quote of the week. Yes. So the quote is, we all have the same 24 hours in a day. If someone else seems to be accomplishing more than you, they're sacrificing more than you.
Period. And that's on Mary Had a Little Lamb.
And that's on Mary Had a Little
Period. Okay.
Lamb.
We all got the same amount of time in the day for real. So when you see somebody else doing something different, that mean they doing something different. That mean they really sacrificing their time, social media time, whatever it is you procrastinating on. They're not. They're waking up early and they're getting to it. They waking up at 7 o'clock.
Yes.
Which is what I've been really trying to do.
Right.
I really feel like we were just talking about that. Yep. Trying to start.
You really have to do different to get different.
Yeah,
like you can't just do normal shit and wake up and go, I'm gonna do my little 9 to 5. Then you just gonna get mediocre regular shit, you know. But if you want something more, you do have to do more. Right. But if you think past that, the reward is so worth it. Because like you said, I think some people just think I don't want to work hard and I don't want to get up and I don't want to. Well, think about how you want to go to that beach. So getting up at 7 really that bad for you to ultimately be able to do what you want to do and
your body
adjusts
change
the way you think about it.
Right. It's not so bad. Say you do get a job where you got to wake up at 6, or say you got a job at 9, you got to wake up at 6 to just get some shit done. Your body will adjust to it. Yeah, it's going to suck the first couple of days, but it's not going to suck a few months later. You're going to be in a routine. You feel me? So it's always a little rough in the beginning. I think that's where people tap out. Yeah. That little rough part. Don't nothing start smooth. You feel me? It always is different to you. It's foreign to you. So you got to adjust and adapt to it. So, but yes, I say that all the time. I know lately I've been feeling like it's not enough time in the day for me. And I'm like, you know what?
Get
Gotta
your
get up
ass
sooner.
up at 7,
Yeah.
period.
and
Same
get
here.
ahead of the game because it's so easy to get distracted like midday. For me, whether it's my fiance, a phone call, an email, or something like that, you know what I mean? But if I can just beat everybody and just
Right.
get shit done, be ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Because I know
And
I
you can
love when I
relax
complete
come
my
5,
list.
6, shit.
Exactly,
Roll up,
for real.
chill, pull up.
Okay.
Shit.
All
You
right.
do whatever you want to do.
Exactly.
You know?
For
And
real.
feel good about it and feel accomplished, not feeling like,
Feel
damn, I
productive.
ain't do
Exactly.
nothing today.
Yeah, exactly. So
yes,
just know
yes.
that ain't nobody born no more special than the other. We are all equal.
Yeah.
We all got the same amount of time in the day, y'all. So let's turn up. We're going to always leave y'all with that. Make sure we turn up 2021.
Yes, it's still early in the year. Let's get it, y'all. Thank
Yes,
y'all for
sir.
tapping in. Make sure y'all subscribe. Follow us on all social media
All of that.
platforms. Engage. Send us an email. Leave us some comments. Holla at us, okay?
Holla at us.
We tapping out.
Tapping out.
Peace.